look at it.
Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, where it can't all be serious. We got a big smile going on somebody's face, not mine. It's Adam Kolozetti, and in his old WWE world, he used to be Adam KoKo Beware Kolozetti from Enta Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the master, Adam KoKo Lozetti.
Wow, thank you, Bruno. I've never had an intro quite like that before, but
they pay me well.
I'll take it. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. So, Adam, we can talk about a million things, and we normally do.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing is making genuine content. Connections.
Yeah.
That's what our thumbnail says. Making genuine connections. How the hell can I make it more genuine? I even gave your wrestling name. KoKo Beware. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you mean? You're a specialist in this area, making, and I'm not joking. Now we're going to be serious. Okay. Making genuine connections. We're talking about the digital media world. So what do you mean by that?
Well, can I tell you a story first? Like
no.
Stories
like, do you know me?
People like stories, right?
You know me. Come on, go ahead.
All right. Okay. So Enta Solutions, that's our company. Along comes the pandemic. We lose all our clients. All right. So we went to the internet. We learned everything we could about LinkedIn, about going online, and we started making content. And it wasn't very good. It's kind of cringeworthy to go back and watch it now. But the point is, we were very honest. It wasn't salesy. It was very much like, hey, this is what happened. We're scared. We were super vulnerable. We kind of threw it out there. And people responded to that. And then we started tinkering with different automations and then, utilizing those. And it started to work for us enough that not only did we save the company, but we grew the company doing that. But it's all about genuine connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So walk me through what is genuine. Second time. What is genuine connection? Like, you went out there. Give me some stuff that online I can meet. I can build a point of genuine, because genuine is a big word.
Sure. Yeah.
To be honest with you, I don't even know if there's two N's in there. Is there two N's? There's three N's.
Today there's one.
Okay.
Well, there's two, I guess, just not side by side.
Gotcha. Set you up, Adam.
Well, genuine things. How are you feeling? What are you excited about? I think the example is we all get spammed a lot in LinkedIn or an email or whatever, where someone's like, hey, do you want 40 new appointments in your calendar every week? Call me here and I'll sort that for you, right? It's like very intensely salesy. And what do we all do? We're just like, ugh, right? But then if you're like me, like 1 in like 30, it's kind of funny or kind of clever, or someone's like, for some reason I stop. So the question is like, what makes me stop? I'm being spammed all the time. What makes me want to read your message instead of everybody else's? And for us, if I want to authentically connect with you, Bruno, and I've never met you, I'm going to say, hey, Bruno, I checked out your profile. It looks pretty awesome. Love to connect, right? You're going to be like, yeah, okay, cool. That sounds all right. And then I might reply after that. I might be like, hey, awesome. Thanks for connecting. You can see what I do, but I'd love to learn more about what you do. I really want to connect you with people in my network. I want to, networking it's all about supporting each other. So, hey, let's chat or connect sometime, right? That's
you know what I learned from you and your great partner, Caitlin, and now I'm being serious, is that you make it sound really simple. And a lot of people think that digital media reach outs and all this kind of stuff, right? Like you're saying, hey, your profile looks awesome. The reality behind that, and this is not to correct you, it's actually to build on that, because you made it sound so simple. And I get a lot, like everybody else, on LinkedIn, and not so much Facebook anymore, but LinkedIn, I get, hey, your profile's awesome, and this and that and the other thing. Most of us don't, respond, thanks, cool, right? What we do is the way you, and I'm going to say, Caitlin, genuinely do that because I know your story, is you don't go at it like this. You go at it kind of like this, like a little spiral, like, the areas in Paris, it's not like squares, it's like this.
Yeah.
And some people call it a strategy. I call it, that's who you guys are. And so all of a sudden I'll get this from you and say, not you, but somebody, like you, and kind of go, hey, Bruno, I saw your profile. I think it's cool. I think we should talk. So I'm like, who the hell is this guy? So I click it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at a couple of posts that you've posted, and you are that statement. You're genuinely curious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, for this guy who does all these videos and meeting all these people, if he really thinks my profile is interesting, he probably does, but it's kind of reinforced by some of your posts and some of your authentic stuff that you do. Wouldn't you think that that's helped? Because people check you out.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like if you go to my LinkedIn page, the about page, like most people says like, oh, I'm a proven project manager with a history of leadership and, achieving on time, on budget projects. They'll put something like that, right?
Says who? Says
right?
who?
Exactly. Like, oh, okay, I get it. You're a project manager, whatever. But if you go to my page, it's a story. I talk about as a kid how I loved rockets. I wanted to fly. I liked Star Trek. And you read it, and it's a little bit vulnerable. I'm kind of telling you who I am, and people read that and like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then they go check out my content, and they'll see some stuff about work, but some stuff about maybe my team or my kids even or my family or whatever. And it's kind of telling you said it's a whole story about who I am. Like this is who I am. I'm not trying to sell you something right off the bat. I'm just being authentic. I'm creating trust. So you've checked all this stuff. You've decided that you liked me before you ever reply to my message. That's the hope or the point, right?
Well, I can tell you, you mentioned your family, and
Mhm.
I'm very proud of this. I met your two kids at one time, right?
Mhm.
And they gave me these two things that I've kept forever. See that? The two
Two
jelly
jelly
beans.
beans.
They were so cute. They came up to me and they said, you know what? We'd like you to have these jelly beans to take home. And I know where they get it from. They get it from you. They were making genuine connections. And I really mean that. That was like so cool. And I think it comes down to that. I've learned a lot from you and your company is that don't do it unless you mean it. And you got to show up. And I know that you've always shown up. And I think that's hard though digitally. And I think without the background of your posts, where I can kind of look and say, yeah, this guy's not too creepy, but I get a lot of creepy. Hey, I really like all your achievements. Have you seen me in the gym this week? There's no achievements there. So yeah, give us another little thing that you can do to make genuine connections digitally.
Well, there's a lot of automation out there. AI has gone crazy. Like there's all sorts of stuff now. So I think I run into a lot of people that are like, no, I don't do that outreach stuff because I authentically want to meet every single person in my network. And I'm like, you're gonna have a network of 10,000 people and go meet every single one. That's fantastic. Good for you. But there's a time and place for automation, and you can use it to, in your wise words, get in the ring, right? The automation could
The
be the initial
octagon. The
the
octagon.
octagon. All right. The automation could be the initial message where you're like, hey, how's it going? And then, but as soon as someone answers, then it's you, and it's very personal. That's not a bot. That's not nothing. That is you genuinely having a conversation and responding. And it's busy. I can't tell you how many messages I have to go through every day and reply to. And then behind that, do what I say. If someone says, hey, I'm looking for I don't know, a web designer. Do you know anyone? And I'm like, all right, let's go search my network and introduce them to 3 different web designers, right? Like,
Right.
do that and don't promise something you can't deliver.
You are really are you by nature giving? Like, did you help everybody that got beat up in your neighborhood? Like if somebody came
No,
up to you and said, "Hey, Adam, I got beat up. Would you guys just put on your Batman suit and go kick the shit out of them?" Because you are one of the most helpful people I've ever met.
well,
Is
thank
that
you,
by
Bruno.
nature, by design, by I don't
I
even know if it's a compliment because you're fighting a lot of fights, right?
I think it's a bit of both. Like I think naturally there's givers and takers, and Adam Grant has all sorts of content about that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, what I've learned in terms of our business and growing our business is give until you're actually annoyed by how much you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will come back to you, but not right away. It'll be like a year or something. But yeah, just always give and make it timely and be helpful, and people appreciate that and will remember it.
Yeah, you know
So,
what I find is I don't know if you feel this way, but you're a giver. I know that, and so's Caitlin. And there's something I read or somebody told me. Some smart people said you only do because you expect something back, and I believe in that. But I don't believe in I give you $1, I expect $2 back or $1. But sometimes
mhm.
just a thank you, and it throws me off when, as you get older, you figure out, holy shit, I helped Adam 50 times and never, in the words of my late friend Jack Ostash, my father, he's a not a kiss my ass or nothing, right? And I think people emotionally get tired when somebody doesn't even say thank you. Like I don't do a lot of stuff, and you don't either. I don't think you expect dollar for dollar, but don't you feel that some people just take all the time genuinely, and the least they can do is like say thank you?
I agree 100%. I can't. There's been lots of times when I've sent an email and it's disappeared into the void, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude is important. I think, the world really runs on gratitude. And as much as we say in business that, we got to be strategic or we've got to do this to get that or whatever, at the end of the day, we're just bumping up against other people. And there's a point where we're going to talk business, but before we get there, especially in Canada, there's this kind of place where you got to earn that trust, right? You got to do
I agree.
you got to go for coffee. Maybe you're going to go for lunch next time. I'm going to send you something interesting. I mean, we can get into the sales and stuff, but like, there's the classic, hey, just following up. Do you want to buy from me? Or there's like, hey, I was thinking of you. Check out this video. You might find
Yeah.
it valuable. Let's connect when you have a sec, right? Like something like that is people appreciate that more. I think it's harder, but it's
Well, it
worth it, I
is.
think.
I think it is, and it is. And Adam, I think that my point is there's a reason why we gravitate to work with each other and with your company, and you believe in us. Is I think ultimately you have to feel just kind of like a young kid or a puppy dog. They know when to sniff you out, and they kind of go, "This guy's full of shit," and they walk away, right? And kids kind of go, "Daddy, I don't really like this guy. He made me feel uncomfortable." They know, right? And I think as
Mhm.
adults, we forget about that genuine feeling. I get the creeps out of this person. Some people are like, "Oh, I knew in the first 2 minutes." You don't know that, but if they take, and I want to talk about automation because you said something about bots, but before we get to that, Enta Solutions, tell me.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yeah.
We specialize in the ROI of culture and engagement. So if you want to have higher productivity, lower turnover, everyone's excited to come to work. If you want to keep that magic as you scale your business, we do that in two ways. Your identity, your culture, it's what you do and what you say. What you do, we call that team culture. So we'll do workshops on mission, vision, values. We'll do custom team building. So ROI on team building, there's an interesting one. And then process improvement. For example, we're approved advisors of the Canadian Digital Adoption Program. On the other side, the stories you tell about it, what you say is to your digital culture. More and more, it's becoming important. And that's what we're talking about right now, how you show up in the digital space. I get a lot of clients who talk about the digital space as not being important, but how you show up on your website, your social content, your videos, your other digital assets like brochures or banners or whatever, this is how people are going to check you out. So even if you get a lot of your business from referrals, talent, you want the best talent, especially the younger Gen Z coming up, they're gonna go check you out online. If you got nothing on there, and then you're starting from zero versus the other guy who's got a bunch of cool videos and fun stuff and interesting things. You're going to start attracting people that like that type of stuff, right? The other thing is investing. Some people, if you're trying to get investors are going to go check you out. You want to kind of show off who you are. So there's a bunch of different areas other than straight sales and marketing where how you show up online becomes a big deal. So that's how we divide it up.
So it's interesting that you talk about that. I take notes. I don't know if you know that. I always take notes.
Okay.
A quiz after this, Adam. The whole thing about when you say showing up and with Enta Solutions and the storytelling, a lot of people are we're quieter type people. I think I don't mean I'm the same as you, but our companies, some people kind of go, "Hey, I figured it out. You guys work together." I'm like, "Yeah, we work together." So it's one of those best kept secrets, which is not sometimes good for business, but you guys, Enta Solutions, are kind of the YYC people, right? That run that city platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great way to tell a story. And to this point, anybody that we talk to, and this is not shamelessly promoting our channel, I just thought about this is storytelling. You guys kind of jumped all over it before anybody else understood what the heck that meant. And having a business platform and telling stories, and all of a sudden we're like looking behind us and like there are a lot of people that want to join our community. How has that helped you, other than me driving you crazy sometimes? Because we have to collaborate on a lot of things. But how has that helped you in telling stories and finding out who really wants to tell their story and who's bullshitting?
Right. Well, here's a good story, right? I mean, we started making our own videos and just throwing it out there and interviewing people, and you guys saw it. And I remember, Greg called me up and was like, "We like your content. We want to work with you." And we were like, "Who are these people? This is crazy!" Like, but all comes from putting yourself out there and making content, right? And now here we are using videos like this, using interviews. Like I've got my Culture Hack show,
I've
which,
been on it.
yeah, you have been on it.
I hacked it.
I've done probably in a year of that show, I've done almost $100,000 in business. So
Yeah.
it is an effective tool to meet people, to offer them value, to chat with them. But I think more importantly, tell your story the way you want it told, right? There's going to be a story told about you on the internet. You Google pretty much anything these days and you'll find something. So why not be in control of how you want your narrative to be thrown out there? And the only way you're going to do that is by controlling it yourself.
There is no shortage of people coming up to me, at least, and I'm sure the same with you, say, "Hey, I can be on your show, right? I want to be on your show. I want to be," and they never like once you follow up and you kind of bite, and that's my biggest problem. And your biggest problem is like, "Wow," and I'd say 50% of the people I kind of go, "Well, they're probably not really serious, but I don't want to offend them because that's the type of person I am." And then I'll go, "Hey, you want to be on the show? Well, when, if, when, why, where, whatever, all that kind of stuff." Right.
Mhm.
And then I find out they're just not serious, which nothing wrong with it. They're just not serious about it. It's like, we always say life is a pile of should, right? And it's like, I like to do things that get done, or I tell you, I don't know how to do it. I don't want to do it. And I think you and I, our business relationship has really evolved to, Adam, if I really know that 2 + 2 is going to give you 4, you lick your fingers and put it in the electrical panel and see what happens. I tell you with, 100% security, like absolute 100% sure, right? And if I don't know something, I kind of usually come up to you and, "Adam, I don't know how to do this." And I think it comes with that whole platform, right?
Mhm.
It really solidified who was serious about promoting their business and who was just hoping. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Like how many people have promised us, "We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this," and then all of a sudden, 2 years later, their company still is struggling with the same thing. Nobody knows who we are.
Well, I mean, if you want to change, whether it's you want to grow or change your situation, or whatever, you got to try something different, right? For us, it was videos and content has been very, very effective. But yeah, it's time consuming. I got to show up. I gotta, I might have just gotten off a call where I got berated by a client, and now I'm showing up in studio
Never.
and I gotta be ready to go. But here's one thing I'll tell you, Bruno, is people. We got this advice from Russell Brunson. He was our guru when we started this out, his stuff. But like video has been very effective for us. A lot of people don't want to be on video. They don't want to, they're not comfortable with that. So do what you're comfortable with. If it's talking,
Yeah.
like if it's sound, then podcast. You don't have to be video. If you don't like that, then write. Like if writing's your venue, then write a blog, right? Go put it up on, whatever blog platform you want. The point is, content comes in a variety of forms. You can find one that suits you. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I got to go make a bunch of videos because that's the only way. There's lots of ways. Find one that it feels right for you because that's where your voice is going to come out authentically, back to the beginning, right?
That's good advice, and I still think that the platform that we have with YYC and you guys run it is a good indication of a pattern that we've seen. They go, I really want to do video, I don't want to do video, and this and that and the other thing. And I think what we learned is that, here are the 3 steps, not the 30 steps, right? To get your story on there. If you're not able to do 3 steps, then A, you're not serious about it, or B, I find the pattern, they go, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to do something else. They never end up doing it, which has been a real eye opener for me because I'm just thinking, your lovely partner, Caitlin, said this the best. She said, you're the readiest to go guy I've ever met, or whatever she said on that video call. And I'm like, really? You got to get out more or something like this, right? So Adam, you were talking about adopting automation. I got something I want to talk to you about, but I want to hear what you mean by that before I contribute, because I might be totally off.
Sure. Sure. I mean, I think there's so many cool tools out there. AI has just exploded. There's outreach tools. I think you'd be foolish not to explore those and, utilize the ones that make sense for you. I think where people are getting it wrong is that, again, use them authentically. You can use a tool to maybe send the first messages or search for certain avatars or whatever. But when someone starts engaging, you have to get in the ring. You got to talk to people. That's the long and the short of it, right? And
Right.
lead with authenticity, right? I'd like to connect with you, which is true. It may be automation that's sending that first message, but ultimately you're going to back it up if somebody engages. So I guess automation is out there, but you can use it in a way that serves you and doesn't annoy people, if that makes sense.
The reason why I bring that up is because you're right. Because if you can't be authentic about it, for example, we were on, transparent. We were on a video business call this morning, and Caitlin, your partner, was joking around about our band. The most popular band has never played ever
The
live, the
ZBs.
ZBs,
Yeah.
right? So I said, you should write a song about this. And she was like Googling on the chat GPT, and she came up with lyrics, and they were okay. But I'm like, there was a couple words. I'm like, there's no way we would ever say that. So you kind of have to be careful on that, because I think people will catch you on it. But that's just kind of like the silliness, right? But so Enta Solutions, YYC Calgary Business, Adam KoKo Lozetti from WWE. Who is the greatest wrestler in WWE? See if you did your homework.
Hulk Hogan.
No, Roddy Piper. You didn't look him up.
I did
So
look him up. Yeah.
you promise you'll be back for the next episode?
All right. I promise.
All right. Okay, we'll see you guys soon.